Gulag week number 2. This is going to be Goose Guy versus Abram for the finals of the Gulag tournament. And this is the Gulag tournaments are ran by Slim Ghost. I'll leave a link to his Twitch down in the description if you guys want to go check out the full tournament that he hosted over there, or if you want to check out any of the future ones as well. But I'm going to be breaking down this game, a lot to learn from, and this game is actually post the first week of MCS ladders. Typically, MCS ladders are a good time to kind of you kind of in a ladder day, you're going to see about everything you possibly could see, and the cream is going to typically rise to the top. And so you're going to see that within their schemes. This is kind of a big tournament, in my opinion, just because it's going to give you a pretty good glimpse into what is the most effective offense, defense, everything in this game. So here's Slim doing, some prerequisite interviewing. But I wanted to get into first and foremost Abram's defense. Now, as you see here, he's going to be setting up the double mug. I believe that Abram is probably in the Houston Texans defensive playbook, which is the playbook that is taking over competitive Madden. I'm going to talk about why that is the case. And then Goose Guy here is going to be in Pittsburgh Steelers offense, I believe. Now, real quick here, just going to go through some things, and we are going to jump over here into our practice mode session. So what I wanted to do is just kind of give you a brief overview of some of the things that you're going to see in this little gameplay. If you guys want to get any of my full offensive or defensive ebooks, those will be available in our school community. That link is in the description down below. $10 gets you access to all of my offensive and defensive ebooks for both Madden and for college football. So if you're looking to take your game to the next level, join us over at the school community. That being said, I wanted to get into, kind of this, I guess, meta match or in terms of like what they're actually doing on the practice mode, and then we'll take it back over here into the actual film. So Abram is in this Houston Texans defensive playbook. This is kind of becoming the main playbook right now. And he is going to be running this nickel 2-4, or not nickel 2-4, nickel double mug. What has happened is in college football, the regular, the 2-4 double mug, the 2-4 single mug were much better in college football. But in Madden, it's actually flipped. The regular double mug, the regular nickel single mug, the regular nickel wide are much, much, much more effective. And so you're going to see that Abram is going to be kind of basing out of this double mug type of defense. Now, one of the big things, real quick, just going through, is you're also going to see that most of these guys are going to be basing out of a Tampa 2. The reason for that is this Tampa 2 has unique hook zones, which I'll show. And then the other thing you'll see is that they're going to be utilizing the Texas 4-man stunt consistently. So what you're going to see from Abram here is a spread of the linebackers, and then typically a Texas 4-man stunt. He typically will also spread his D-line out. And the reason why a cover 2 base defense is really helpful is, number one, it's easier to adjust out of, but number two, it has 2 hook zone curls, which are the best yellow zones in this game, in my opinion. They are different than the vert hook. So you see here, if I hot route this slot corner to a yellow zone, it's only going to let me put him on a vertical hook. The problem with vertical hooks in this game is they literally match to everything. They don't play where you want them to play at typically. And so that is part of the logic behind that. You'll see Abram kind of typically base around a Sin 4 type of defensive look. The other thing from Goose is in this Pittsburgh Steelers offensive playbook, you're going to see a couple of things. Number one, this package here, this tight end slot package is kind of cool. If you sub in a, like, whatever receiver you want in that spot and you come back out in your play, what's going to happen is, let's say you're playing a mid blitz defense, you'll see that this nickel corner is completely misaligned against that type of look. So that is partially why Bunch X Nasty is kind of the clear-cut number one offense right now, at least the clear-cut number one base formation, that then you'll see people audibling, around to other things. Now, the other thing about this Pittsburgh playbook is he will go to this trips X Nasty using plays like the short corner. If I could find that short corner here, I don't know where that's actually at. There is a short corner play in here. I just can't find it for some reason. It's in this auto motion. I know that. Maybe it's already in here. Motion sticking up. That is the play. You will see him run some of that. You'll see him run some other stuff as well. But this audible here, and then the other thing that he has is he just has a really good trips formation. So you're going to see he's going to go bunch X Nasty, but then he'll also go trip sex nasty, and then he also has bunch spread in here. So he just has a lot of good formations like that. And then another really good formation that he has in this playbook is this Pittsburgh Steelers tight doubles. This is a really, really good run out of the quick base. Also has, a couple of good just standard plays. But anyways, that is kind of the, playbook matchup, at least on offense and defense. And we will get back over here and take a look at the first drive. So as you see here, Abram starting out with that Texas four-man stunt spread D line, and he's kind of in a pretty meta coverage shell with kind of that roll type of technique. And Goose Guy is gonna, go ahead and get a couple of yards here. So as you can see on this, you're gonna see here this double mug. The other reason why Abram likes that is at any point he could send 6 out of that as well. But typically you're gonna see this cover 3 cloud type of defense. One of the things that Abram is going to be doing that I do think is, just kind of really important here is if you look closely at this coverage that he's actually going to show us here, we'll take a look at this and I'll just kind of explain one little thing that's a little different this year than last year. So what you're going to see is he hard flats on the short side of the field, but really the bigger thing is that he's curl flatting on this wide side. Curl flat zones are significantly better at stopping like a stem down corner than really any other zone that I've seen so far. And the other thing that Abram is doing is because Goose Guy might be setting up, stunt protection, he's actually just mixing in this base 4-man rush. And then occasionally he'll mix in the Texas 4-man rush. So, he's kind of like using a couple different ways in which he can send 4 to essentially mess with Goose's pass protection. Here, Goose is going to go to that motion under play. Really good combo. I just wanted to show you this combo. This is 100% a combo that you're going to see people do. I wanted to show it just real quick because this is actually a really cool little play here. And let me know if you guys like me adding practice mode into these. I thought it'd be kind of fun to actually just slow it down and actually show you the routes. But it's this play motion corner under. And what we're basically going to do is we're going to stem this tight end all the way down. You can streak or slot fade the slot guy. And then you're going to use a flat and you're going to use a like your little motion return. So what's going to happen is, again, what the coverage that Abram is running, right, is typically, some variation of a roll type of technique where you've got a roll coverage over here with a curl flat. So the beauty of this play is you're going to put the yellow zone on the left side in a lot of conflict, and you also have the corner route. So you'll see, just kind of how this actually plays out in practice mode. And really what you're going to see is these drags underneath, as well as these post routes or corner routes. So anyway, that is the play. Let's take a look at actually how it works. And you'll see here, auto motion. See how that little return route opens up in that little pocket? Hard to user, and he puts his user in a lot of conflict with that play. And again, a little bit more practice mode, a little bit more slowed down on the first drive, so we kind of get into what's going on and kind of share just the basics of their scheme. So here you see, this is that trip sex nasty audible, pretty quick audible. He has a threat of a short corner here to this left side. So what you're seeing Abram do is he's hard flatting on the side. This will take away the stem down corner route. He's also leaving his linebackers mugged. And when he does that, he's kind of bluffing that send 6. Here, Goose goes with a comeback route. What's a really cool route that Goose loves is really this, it's like a running back cross flat or cross drag. And it's in the play motion cross post from Mud Sex Nasty. I don't know exactly the play out of Trip Sex Nasty, but essentially what you're going to see, and again, Abram, cover 3 cloud, pretty much that's kind of standard, right? Kind of standard. So let's just take a look at the routes that he ends up employing here. He has this comeback on the side with this high-low on the backside. And then on the front side, he's just got your basic kind of almost dagger or cross high-low over here. And then he's got a high-low over here. So basically what he's doing is he's high-lowing both sidelines. And honestly, one of the hardest routes to switch stick to is a comeback route, right? Especially, it's just hard to switch stick to a comeback. And effectively, he was flooding both sides. Both sides of the field are high-lowing both outside sidelines. Which is why, it's hard to switch stick that because you can't really, it's hard to switch stick all the way across the field. So anyway, here, Abram back in that cover 3 cloud, and you're going to see there's that motion cross post, kind of used a stemmed curl. Let me actually make sure our quality here stays where we want it to stay, maybe. Okay, we're just gonna move that up. There we go. All right. So this is another combo that Abram was looking at in terms of that first one. This is a Trips X Nasty combo. Actually, a really nice one. So you see here, he's cover fouring now. Situationally, typically people do that, but here, like you got the soft squat. But what essentially you're going to get is you're going to get this little out route, and you're going to get a little whip route right here to kind of put these two guys in a little bit of conflict. And you see right here, there's the flat, there's the whip, and then he's got a little cross to kind of hold the user. A lot of people like this little two-man game over the middle because it holds the user in the middle of the field and allows you to just attack the sidelines. There, he's able to attack that left sideline really, really well. And another thing you're seeing from Abram, and this is something that you'll see a lot, is fairly basic cover shells. Here, Abram is going to come up 3rd and 3, trying to get him on a 4th down, maybe get a sack, put him in a tough situation. Goes with just a basic mid blitz call. Goose actually gets kind of just, it's just unfortunate what happens here. He actually stays in a tight end set, so I think he might even blocked his tight end. No, he didn't. The other thing is the chipping here. He's trying to chip that guy with that tight end, but essentially here you put this user in a lot of conflict, and Abram tries to switch to this guy to take this away, but he's just not really able to get that animation. And then Goose randomly just drops a wide open player. And you see the guys talking. So again, the thing about double mug that Abram seems to like is that at any point he can send 6. This is actually a really good adjustment right here. He's in cover 0, but he hard flats to take the flats away. And you see, Goose, just everything kind of got randomly caged, and Abram drops a pick. That could have easily been a pick 6, but anywho. Now, Abram, let's talk about Abram's offense just real quick here. Abram is in the Chargers playbook. He's going to be using, dagger. He's going to be using corner strike, some of the main plays. He's also got duo. And then Goose is actually playing some really unique defense right now. He's doing some things that I haven't seen a lot of people do. One of the things you're going to see Goose do is he's still going to be using that Texas 4-man. He actually loves this dime normal, but he's also going. The reason why you like dime normal is because you don't have to flip your slot corners. They get symmetrical there. There you see an instant win shed right there. But the other thing that Goose is going to do is he's going to send 4. He's going to send 4 quite a bit, honestly. And the other thing that he'll do that really nobody does, though, is he's actually going to he will send 3, which you haven't seen a ton of people do this year. And here there's that stem down corner. Now take a look at this route combo from Abram. This is something that I think, this was something that really went away, but in this year's game, you're seeing a lot more. It's the short corner and then the double corner, but you stem them both down, and it puts this defender in conflict because if he clouds to take the deeper corner or quarters, then this will be wide open. If this corner bites down here, then it's really hard for this safety to get all the way over here, right? And so you just put a lot of conflict on the field. In fact, I'll actually show you this play over here in practice mode. I have the Chargers playbook loaded up. So what are the main formations real quick in the Chargers playbook? So really the main formations in the Chargers playbook, which we actually have a full ebook on this in our school community. But what you're going to have is you're going to have flood, dagger, corner strike, and then this motion play. These are kind of your main bunch strong plays. But you also have a good bunch X nasty. You have motion cross post, motion RPO alert, SFT bounce mesh drive, which gives you another short corner threat. And then you have drive HB under as well. So you have a lot of good stuff in those two formations. This trips tight end is really, really good because it has the quarterback zone run. This quarterback zone run is really, really good in the red zone or really just any kind of short yardage type of situation. You also have an RPO bubble. And then, if you wanted to do some basic passing plays, I think this motion Z spot is really good because it has a fast table route and has a post route from the outside receiver. But anyways, those are kind of the main-ish formations you're going to see. It has some other stuff too, but those are really the main ones. What I wanted to do is just go over this corner strike play just because this is, in my opinion, the best play in the game. So what you're going to see is if he stems this corner down and let's say he's running this double corner, I think this combo is really, really going to take over because it's not necessarily as easy to switch stick this as you might think because this corner runs so fast And then also because you have a backside drag or something like this. But what you're seeing is, kind of the standard adjustment would be, okay, well, we're going to do what Abram was doing, right? Where we're going to hard flat and then we're going to kind of roll the coverage over like this, like cover three cloud. And then we'll have a curl flat on the backside and we have pretty decent, coverage integrity, right? The problem is that the outside third, because you have this guy on a stem down corner, he is going to run so fast, and you'll just see that you can just out leverage that outside third defender to that side. You pretty much have to switch stick to that deeper corner, which then leaves other things open. So that's going to be one of the main plays that you're going to see Abram run. And then if they run like a basic cover two, which you might think like a soft squat or something would be better for the shorter corner, the problem is you'll see right here that this shorter corner route is going to do a really good job of just getting open against a soft squat or a hard flat defender. So, that is going to be, kind of one of his main strategies. And then Goose is going to be in dime normal a ton, at least to start. We'll see. I know he runs a little bit of dollar as well. So we'll just kind of see what he ends up going to here. There you see another double corner. Got that running back check down there on the left side. Essentially, the double corner requires you to switch stick to that corner. You'll see Abram do stuff like this. Like another big popular thing is you can stem routes and then you flip and the stem stays. Here you see there, he's got that fade over the top. Actually got kind of messed up. I don't know what happened on that throw. Did he catch that? Because you see there, so like that's where this flood play is really good. He actually caught that, but what's nice about the flood play is you'll see Goose kind of react to it. This is actually great how it sets up. So you see Goose runs cover two. He's got a 10-yard flat. This is not going to play the short corner, but it helps with the tight end. But what he does is he switch sticks here because he's kind of anticipating this corner. And so when he switch sticks, this flood should be a touchdown. However, because he's kind of got a rollout or he's doing the air truck stuff to try to speed burst out, and then he kind of gets messed up there. So anyway, had he just stayed in the pocket, he probably scores a touchdown on that one. But he tried to roll out a little bit too prematurely, in my opinion. But I guess, he's probably calling that play specifically to be a rollout corner. But anyway, loves this combo out of flood. He's got that post on the left side. Hits that running back flat. That running back flat, very underrated route. Very, very underrated route this year. Just the basic hot routed running back flat is actually pretty good. I'm actually going to move this over here so we can see my man Slim Ghost. Little duo run. Another thing that Chargers has the duo run from Bunch Strong, which is really a great run. It's just a really, really, really good run for these short yardage situations. He is going to go to that. There's that SFT bounce mesh drive that I was telling you about. This short corner on the right side is really, really good. He's actually using kind of an auto motion. So if you guys don't know, like this has an auto motion to the running back that's going to put him over here, and then it's going to put him on a flat. If you immediately hot route when you audible to this, it will pretend like this running back is actually over here. So if you wheel route the running back normally, he would go this way. But when you do that with an audible, he will now go this way, which allows you to do things, like this, and now allows this guy to kind of be a threat over here. And it really, what it does is it forces Gustav to defend the running back this way and this way out of the backfield. So you see there's that cross wheel, and then he actually just takes that short corner. So Goose pretty much staying in dime. You go flood with a Texas route. I'll actually love that play. I don't know what the smoke screen was for, but it worked. There's that air truck going crazy. If you guys don't know, just flick that right joystick and it will go wild. It gives you a little bit of a speed boost right now. See here, 2nd and 3, red zone situation. This is honestly where most people are going to get stopped. But Chargers does have a good red zone because it has that trips tied in. That duo run did not pop. Another thing you're seeing Goose do with his dime is he's not spreading his line. He's kind of keeping his dime. He's actually, it might even be pinching his line, but his D line, and he's probably doing that for the run defense aspect of it. But, kind of interesting. Here, Abram is going to go to U-trips using that short corner on the right side. Kind of a trips tight end, but it has a short corner here. And he's going to force feed it, and Goose is going to get the pick. I'm pretty sure that Goose does set zone drops on his flats. What a lot of people are doing right now is they're actually zone dropping their flats, I think, to 10. And what that'll do on a hard flat is that hard flat will play the kind of midpoint, that short corner, deep corner a little better. Still going to give up the deeper corner, but you have to wait on it a little longer. Abram is also known for running a lot of man coverage out of his double mug. Loves shaded down man, honestly. And there, shout out to replay. We missed an actual play. All right, so we'll see. Probably take this down the quarter. Abram pretty much staying in this double mug. The other thing, running a little bit. There's that cover 3 cloud again. Trying to see if Abram's actually coming out in cover 2. He's probably coming out in this nickel dog. The reason, so if you want to run zone, he's coming out in this nickel dog because this corner will stay wherever he wants him. Whereas in Tampa 2, sometimes he'll line up in different spots. So it just gives you a symmetrical look. He's also showing blitz, so he gets safeties in the box, but he also gets kind of a press alignment on the outside. The other thing about the show blitz is it puts this corner slightly outside of the bunch, which is better for defending the double corner than like a standard alignment would be. So those are all very little things that are happening, but they do make a little bit of a difference. Spreading the linebackers out, kind of showing his hand that he's probably going to be sending 4 here. Again, there's that cover 3 cloud pretty consistently. Now this he's rolling over the solo side with that cover 3 cloud as well, which is kind of interesting. Doesn't look like Abram has any zone drops set either, and he is here. He's given a little bit more of a man coverage look. And he got fried. Tell you, man coverage is great, but it can definitely get fried there. Let's see here. 1st and 10. Showing another man coverage look, kind of shading a little bit. He's going to try to play a little stickier defense. Now, what Goose does right here is when you see man coverage, what these guys love to do is an auto motion that normally will take this corner and it will misalign him typically. So you'll see, watch right. I'll show you here. Right when he calls hike. Right there. So you see he motions, but this guy, instead of pressing the slot, now he moves way out here. Now your standard combo normally is going to be a streak, a drag, and a post, or you're going to get a return route, a drag, a flat, a streak, and a corner. Those are kind of the 2 main plays. So we'll see what he ends up doing here. So you see he actually runs like a flat, and then looks like a tight end corner, and then looks like a crosser, and then a return. So kind of none of the routes really worked, to be honest. I feel like he would have had more success because he had so much inside leverage if he would have ran the other variation of that play, but that's what it is. The other thing that you'll see right there, that audible to tight doubles, primarily because Abram is in mid blitz. When you see somebody start to be in mid blitz, that's when you want to audible around and flip. You can really misalign them a lot more than you can. And you'll see Abram will probably eventually go back to zone, but he's kind of hanging in man right here. Going to go with a purple. I'll show you one other little strategic thing that he's doing. This is really smart out of man coverage. So when you give this look out of double mug, you have to kind of respect the send 6 or the send 5. So he is potentially going to block his running back. What Abram does is a coverage like this. So it's kind of a cover 1 middle third, but then he has a curl flat for like a corner. But what happens is, and I would assume he's shading inside and underneath. What happens is, let's say he puts the running back on a flat. Well, he has his user manned up. So if he sees the running back go out, he's going to switch stick immediately to this guy and let this guy go run the running back. So you'll see here, like, watch very practically kind of how this works. And I think it's pretty smart. So you see, he sees the running back go out, like right there. See that switch? He switches here. Now he's able to basically play almost kind of like a cover 1. And you're also noticing that he's going to that and he gets the shed in the sack. he goes to that in the on the like on the his side of the 50, if you will. So kind of more of a defense that you can go to when there's a limited amount of space as well. But able to get us a hold of 3, and now we're going to see Abram for the second time. He is calling this play a ton. I don't know if there's a match beating aspect of it. I would assume there is. There's another interception. Goose will run a lot of match. He will run a lot of 4 quarters. I'm really surprised that he is in dime normal as much as he is this game. But he's pretty much hanging in dime normal. Let's watch that short corner. Love this combo. I don't like what he's doing on the smoke screen. And I don't know why. He's doing that because he sees something, I think. But I like, if you look here, so number 1, he's going base protection. Number 2, like, this is another really cool combo at a corner strike. You can effectively use this corner route as a flat route as well. So you have that to pull, let's say he's on a flat, you pull him out, and then your running back's able to kind of be thrown in that little pocket. So we'll see. The other thing here is what I think he's noticing is that Goose is not defending this flat. Like, he's putting a yellow here. So he's just going to pepper the flat with a smoke screen. Pretty basic, but good play. What I don't love is he has a drag running into a smoke screen. I feel like that's kind of, I wonder why he's doing that. He's also air trucking out of that, so maybe he's trying to make kind of a makeshift screen. Those are some different possibilities. But yeah, I mean, you see Goose is kind of, and there's those sheds. Like right there, that's not a stunt. That's actually just a basic 4-man rush. Watch this from Goose. And you'll see. So why? Okay, one other thing, real quick. Why does Abram base out of dagger is actually a really good thing to just briefly talk about, because dagger gives you base pass pro and a blocked running back, so he can quick hike without having to really set up pass pro, which is nice. So you'll see here, like he's gonna flip, he's gonna set up his play, but he doesn't have to set up pass pro. So right when he flips, he's able to actually snap the ball quick. That being said, you see this is just a basic 4-man rush, no stunt, and he gets a crazy shed, and he gets really good pressure and gets Abram on another 4th down. So pretty good defense early on from Goose, really. But here it is again. He loves this flood stem down corner, running back on something. He's going to send 5 out here, and he's going to hit that. So this is what you'll see. This is those flats I was telling you about. So you'll see here, like this flat kind of stops right about 10 yards. But what Goose is going to do is he's going to switch stick onto it and try to take it up. So you see he's here. He's here. He's just a step behind. And if he really snaps on this, I think he could actually, but he gets a little hesitation, and Abram's able to get a completion right there. But those are the 10-yard flats that people are using that kind of give Bunch a little bit of issues, just in terms of their ability to be able to defend a little bit of the short corner, a little bit of the overtop corner, and then you switch stick onto one of them. He loves this flood corner. He has called this flood play like probably 8 times at least so far, and done just different things out of it. Now we're going to get a stem down short corner. Another thing you're seeing Abram do pretty consistently is he's flipping almost every time. There's that short corner. He's going to throw right at that 10-yard flat, and that's the point of that 10-yard flat. That 10-yard flat will kind of play that. It'll kind of play the short corner. It'll give you a little bit of grace on the deeper corner route. It's not going to fully defend the deeper corner route, but it does give you a little bit. I really haven't seen someone audible from bunch to U-trips that much, but Abram is going to right here, and he's going to hit the Y option wheel with the this was a very popular big Tay setup tight end streak with basically just drag post with a wheel. These kind of games are always good to watch. You'll see here, now we're kind of getting into the clock management aspect. Abram's not going to be able to clock this half out, so Goose is going to get the ball back. So we're going to have to see, is he going to take this? Probably takes this to the 2. and he is going to take this down to the 2-minute warning. Going to take a look here at Abram's red zone scheme. Comes out in wing tight Z duo. And there's that duo run that I was telling you about. A lot of people in Chargers like this. Now, if you guys don't remember last year, Abram was in Chargers last year, I believe, for the Ultimate Kickoff tournament. Made a really good run, or not Ultimate Kickoff. Might have been Ultimate Kickoff, but I know he was definitely in there for Most Feared. But he made a lot of money in Chargers last year. There's that flat zig. 2-minute drill for Goose. And we will see what he's up to here. So Bunch X Nasty. Typically when they come out wide side, they're not going to flip. There's that audible. Finally, that return route showing, that's why that return route is so valuable. Able to pop main coverage with that return route. And an audible to Trips X Nasty. Abram's been pretty much in 2-man under. Looks like Abram is going to hang in this. Abram is going to kind of hang in this 2-man under type of defense. There's that purple. Now he's putting a flat over there to kind of try to hopefully hang with that zig. There's that switch stick onto the deep blue again. And he's sick about that because that is I'm almost positive Abram pretty much guarantee you he's shading inside and underneath when he's playing this man, because you see how that corner is like really moving inside. So here, kind of running that same stuff, but yeah, the man coverage just beats it. That's why you can't just hang. Like in my opinion, that's why it can't just be 2-man under all game. And I don't know what's going on here with the gameplay, but we'll go ahead and get up to Abram. So Abram does let Goose score there, though, and that could have also been a thing. Maybe he was almost intentionally, but he's going to get the ball back with time to be able to try to go put some more points on the board. And that's a really nice route right there. Was that a playmaker? I would assume it is. This is actually really good by Abram because he's rolling out of the pocket, air trucks out, left trigger playmakers up, and able to hit the playmaker drag or playmaker in route. Here's Dagger, kind of just going to flood that left side. This is a bomb play. Puts a tight end on a 5 billion stemmed up post route and hits it. That's actually crazy. This combo is wild. Take a look at this. I don't know. I mean, it's cool. Abram is definitely flipping like almost every play, and his whole idea is quick snapping, I would assume. Look at this route. That's probably stemmed up at least 4 times, maybe 3. But this is a cover 3 beater, so you have comeback route to pull this third. You also have a high-low on the left side if it breaks down. He is putting his running back on a streak, so it's basically I'm looking to the running back or the post, kind of depending on how Goose plays. So you see the coverage from Goose here is actually pretty good. It's cover 4. You'll see here that bite, and then this yellow actually carries the running back, but Abram just kind of forces this, and I mean, it's a crazy throw. Kind of a crazy throw. Like a big play right there for Abram. All right, 19 seconds. He is out of timeouts, so this is going to be a spike here. It's taking way too long to spike the ball. Kind of a decision. I mean, that's just a crazy post. Watch this in real time. And just a wild route. All right, so here, got to be careful. You can't get tackled in bounce. So he's kind of, right there. There's that air track. It's actually crazy that he got out of there. He's just going to run this up, run it out with Baker, and this should be a field goal attempt. Watch this in just real time here. As it does look like he's going to pass. I would assume maybe he's just going to look at it. If it's not there, throw it away. But he's looking for like a tight end quick. Maybe the wheel. And he has the wheel. That's actually nice. Really cool play here by Abram. So you have 5 seconds. So if it's not there, you got to get rid of the ball. But he's got a flat. He's got a little seam wheel from option wheel. Tight end streak. And then a backside. See, what I would do is maybe have like a backside drag, but it's probably not really practically that helpful. So he actually does like a backside deep in. So that kind of does also tell you he's probably not gonna settle. He's gonna force this into some window. I mean, you see, like, I mean, think about this. I mean, he has to throw it like right now. The decision has to be out, and he ends up paying off for him. Hits a nice route, gets a big touchdown. That's a huge touchdown before half, and he takes all that clock. And now what you see is at half, Abram gets ball, which is also even more wild that he chose to go for 7 right there. But it does put him in a great spot. And again, Goose staying in dime normal. Really surprised he didn't want to run more dollar. And Abram's already chewing. Abram's just trying to get out of here. He's trying to go to bed. He's trying to get some sleep. He's going to run duo. 2nd and 1 situation, though. I mean, it's, part of this is Abram's like kind of taking. This is clock management. I mean, honestly, at its finest, because he's essentially trying to limit the possessions, because the longer this game goes on, the more of a chance Goose has of coming back. Abram feels really good about what he's doing offensively. And so, he's just going to try to play a little bit of small ball with him. But stuff like that happens. You get a batted D line. You get a shed on a run you should have got a first down on. You get a batted D line pass. Now it's 4th and 1. And this is a massive down. We'll see what Goose ends up going with, but I would assume probably going to be a dime normal. We really haven't seen Goose blitz. We've seen Texas 4-man. We've seen a base 4-man rush. Really haven't seen any pressure from the slot corners. Honestly, this is a weird play by Abram, but he's not worried. I think that's what it is. And this is right here exactly why you have to have a threat of a blitz. Look at this route combo that he calls. This is literally 5 out on a 4th down, and we've got a streak, a post, a drag, a streak, a comeback, and he gets all the way over here. Like, this is just an eternity of time. Like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. It gives 4 seconds on a 4th down to be able to just hit his last read on the comeback route. Like, great read, by the way, but there's just no pressure. And I don't even know if we actually look back at this, I don't think Goose is going to stunt here either. He sends 3. So I did say, remember that Goose likes to send 3. Now, he does get a shed, but this send 3 right here is kind of wild. And I mean, yeah, just not able to get there. And Abram throws it. One of the things you're noticing too from passers as they're kind of adapting to the switch stick era is they are throwing stuff on timing a lot more in this game than they did in last year's game. Because I think they're actually anticipating now the switch sticks. Anyway, here's duo. Good run defense from Goose. Duo really has not duoed, honestly, in this game. It's negative duoed. 2nd and 12. Stem corner, kind of a universal play. Man, R1 was wide open. Actually wide open. Look at how open R1 is. But takes his open route, and Abram is, and I think he sees it there, but again, Abram throws a lot off of like crisp anticipation reads is really what you're seeing from him. Really enjoyed studying Abram the last couple of years too. If you actually watch like his game from Madden 24, Madden 25, Madden 26, really like kind of almost evolved over those couple of years, and now you're seeing just a very like I would use this is what I don't know if I would use this. I kind of feel like systematic is the best word, but he's very I don't know, like he's very on time. Everything is on timing. If you watch him throw, he's hitting routes on the cut every time. The way he makes reads. So, anyways, right there just missed a zig. He's also quick snapping a pretty significant amount. The thing about the flip is it's not really doing I mean, it does mess his adjustments, but not really because he's in dime. Here, Goose, this is why you don't run a match. Again, match coverage is supposed to stop this. You see it matches properly, but you could just throw the ball inside of the match defender, and Abram is going to get into a scoring position. First and goal from the 1 is about as good as you could ask for if you're going to be in a goal line type of situation. So we'll see what Abram is able to do in the red zone here. This should honestly be a trips tight end. This is where you go to trips tight end and you run the ball, and he is going to do just that. Trips tight end, and just real quick peep this with me, just so you can kind of see this. What these guys are doing in the red zone is it's really this trips tight end, and I want to show you right there. It's that RPO and it's that QB zone. That combination, those two plays, are very, very, very effective down here. And you're going to see the second he gets the ball, he's going to truck and got carried in for a touchdown. Really good drive from Abram, and he was able to also take the majority of the third quarter. And that puts Goose in a tough spot. He's down 2 possessions and really hasn't played terribly. He's actually played fairly good. This also highlights the difference between touchdowns and field goals. Abram held Goose to 1 field goal. Goose has not held Abram to any field goals. Goose, they both got a stop, I believe. Abram stopped Goose on the first drive, and then Abram got stopped, I believe, on the first drive, and then Goose got 3, and then Abram got 7, I want to say. Anyway. And that is not good. So this is why Abram likes this man coverage. Man coverage this year is sticky. And this is some of this is the host. I believe that this is when the player friend stuff's still going on, where the host is gonna whoever's the host has different passing settings. And so sometimes hitting these streaks, you'll actually not get the right pass lead. Here I just feel like I don't know if he got the bad pass lead. I think you see his face there. I think he thinks he got a good one. And I think he thought he had a step, and Abrams' guy just reaches out and takes the ball away. So huge interception from Abram, and now you're going to see, and this is the methodical nature, I think, of how he plays a little bit. Like, if you watch what he's going to do offensively, he is going to, like, more than likely, he is just trying to basically close the game out right here. Also, Abram does not miss the underneath very much, and I do think that's another commonality between some of the best passers in the world. They do not miss that underneath. Like the second you switch to go take a corner or a post, they take that underneath. Here is little draw or a little base call. Good run out of Chargers. He's got that base out of the Wild Trio. And he'll take this to the 4th. So now you're seeing full clock mode. He is in a running formation. Goose is staying in that dime normal defense. Really surprised because, again, he stayed in dime pretty much the entire game. And he has a lot of other stuff he could have gone to. He has 6-1. He has dollar. He has double mug. He probably has double mug, maybe. I don't know. I know he has 3-3, I think, if he's in Kansas City, but. And there, that was a crazy, crazy route. That's that motion deep post with that streak. And really, this is that one play he threw that big dot on. Watch that cover 3 cloud. Watch that outside third just drift. Because, again, you're cover 3 clouding because of the corner. Abram really hasn't even ran a ton of corner in the second half because this outside third right here has just left that little window right there. Again, Abram is not waiting for you to switch. He throws on time. And he's able to get a touchdown, and that's a big, big dot. Probably gonna put this game away if Goose can't score on this drive. That's a huge dot, really big throw, and that's again. There's him, really a lot of things that you saw is Abram taking advantage of cover 3 cloud. Really a lot of plays that did a really good job against cover 3 cloud. Here, Abram is going to stay in that double mug. We'll see what he goes to coverage-wise. Going to be a little bit more zone-based here. Bend but don't break. He himself is going to go to that cover 3 cloud, the short side with a soft squat. And he's going to just kind of switch stick them into position. Another thing that these guys do, it's actually a really cool tip. So what he does is because of the way the movement is, sometimes this guy doesn't like jet out here, and this throw can be open. Watch what Abram does. He is actually going to switch here to carry this, and then he's going to switch to this guy to run him back. So he's basically running them into position, as you see, to play better coverage. He's not necessarily just snapping to lurk a route. He's really just running them into the positions they are already going into to get there faster. He's helping them turn their hips in coverage, if you will. So now he's going to do the same coverage, just a deep half instead of a third. There's a nice switch stick. That is a middle third glitch too. You got another bad throw. So this is the middle third glitch. If you didn't know about this one, you are about to learn. So you have a receiver right here. What happens is this middle third will bite to post routes. I don't know why, but he will bite to post routes. So he just streaks this guy, have a backside drag, backside post. What happens, and you'll see on this combo, actually I think it's the crosser, but whatever, either way, post crosser, stem down post, this guy takes the middle third. So you see the middle third is biting, and he's going to try to throw it basically to where the referee is and kind of cut that middle third. You see how that middle third kind of froze? There's that little window right there, but not able to hit it. Kind of a hybrid cover two. And another interception. That's going to probably be GG. So right here, Goose kind of trying to overdo it. Trying to kind of get everything back. A little bit in one play, goes to like a 50-yard stemmed up slot fade or corner, backside post, and he just gets another bad throw. And that's going to be it. Again, Goose was on the bad passing settings, so that could definitely be some of what ended up happening in this game. We'll see how much Goose wants to play this out, but Abram is just going to clock here. I'd be surprised if he passed the ball, showing off his hands, letting you know it's going to be duo. It's going to be this quick pitch. I will say this down normal stops the run. That's for darn sure. We learned that. He is going to pass on this third down, just try to pick it up. It goes back to that motion play and didn't work for him that time. It's going to be incompletion. Kind of extending the game a little bit longer than it has to be here. Let's see what he does to the post. And there's that corner route. He pops him again. Now he's going to go down here. And Goose is going to go ahead and concede. So that is Goose versus Abram, second gulag of the year. Thank you guys for been enjoying these videos. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, let me know. Also, if you want to take your Madden game to the next level, join our school community. It's $10. It gets you access to everything, all of our offensive and defensive ebooks for both Madden and for college for just $10. Hope you enjoyed the breakdown, and we'll see you in the next one.